Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. I've just been playing Minecraft. No, I haven't really. I'm just sat on my son's desk. I've got 5 minutes till I've got to go on the school pickup job. But my name's Danny and I'm not going to keep pulling this funny face all the time that I keep pulling at the moment. It's not very nice. But yes, I'm trying to get the message out while the festival is nearly a week away. And just a quick personal story, actually, I suppose. I am looking forward to it. My partner's back's still not very good. And he's like really stiff and twingy and he won't help himself. He won't take painkillers because he can't swallow tablets very well. And it could all go wrong, guys. And well, we've lost out on quite a lot of money this week. So it's very selfish of me going. But I'm sure when I hit in the festival, I'll be fine. Right. So people that helped organise Glastonbury Festival, is anybody aware, and I have done a small video on this before, but I thought because it's coming up close now to do another one, of Arabella Churchill, Winston Churchill's granddaughter, obviously privately educated, extremely rich lady. I think her dad was Rupert Churchill or something like that. I can't remember my complete facts. Went to private school, and actually when she was a young lady, not saying she wasn't when she was older, but she did start to look a bit like Winston Churchill when she got older. I'm not picking, but she was absolutely beautiful when she was younger. Such an endearing face, like a saint's face. Am I allowed to say that? Like a real Mary face. Just so beautiful. She could have been a model, highly intelligent, highly educated, and ran away from private school in 1971 to go to the first Glastonbury. So I'm not saying she was the founder of Glastonbury, but she and her funding from her dynasty, whatever, yes, helped keep the festival running. And obviously she had a lot of power. I am so distracted at the moment because I'm just so busy, to be honest with you. I've got so much to do. But yeah, look into Arabella Churchill. She died when she was 58 as well. She organised the children's part of the festival and the theatre and circus in the end. But I think basically, there used to be a children's actual festival in Glastonbury town that she used to run. But she basically, when the festival was trying to be closed down in the 80s, she would make it like a more family festival and obviously have a lot of, like I said, power, money and authority, an authoritative voice. If it wasn't for Arabella Churchill, the festival wouldn't have continued. And actually, funny enough, it was her dad's old secretary, I just read, Alan Kerr, that used to know all about the energy and the ley lines, which I was talking about a little bit yesterday about ley lines. And I believe ley lines are basically when someone quite profitable or, carrying knowledge or people that have a purpose, when they walk, whatever, they leave their electrical current behind. And because it's like a ley line and a trace of energy, because everything's happening now, isn't it? So it's like Mary Magdalene's walking around, and then they leave like this little trace of their energy, like a ghost-like trace. So, yeah. That's why the festival happened where it happened, because they doused the ground. Is it doused? So I still haven't checked if it's dosed or doused, where they dowsing rods, right? Andrew Kerr, who was her dad's secretary before. It's all quite linked. Yeah, they worked out where to put the pyramid stage, and they put it as a pyramid in the same dimensions as the Pyramid of Giza, in line with the Torah and that sacred stone that I was showing you yesterday, and in line with Stonehenge, in line with the pyramids. This ignites every sacred stone circle, sacred stone around the world. The White House is built on ley lines. Anything important, it's always built on a ley line. And I think it was Mary Magdalene and her crew that came over in England when Jesus had died to build the very first church that went on the Glastonbury Abbey grounds. It was called the Way. And when these churches were built into stone, they've been put in exactly the same dimensions. If you ever noticed that there's always a big triangle building, big roof, and then a bigger triangle roof. And then there's the top part to the church. and they all face a certain direction to the sun, you know, north, west, or south. They all face a certain way, and they're all placed on certain ley lines, electrical currents, to create the current, the four communication currents through the churches of England. Yeah. But yeah, so it's basically, yeah, coming right off point there, is that Arabella Churchill with her dad's secretary were the ones that, and also all of the hippies that were Indian educated people, knew that that was the place to ignite all of the sacred energy and magic from the period, everything, you know. That's why we have the festival, Glastonbury Festival. And like I said, a few years ago, it got taken off of actual summer solstice, which I think there was a lot of power in the portal of summer solstice happening on summer solstice, and now it doesn't. But yeah, look, if you've ever judged Michael Eavis, look into him. He's put in so much of his own money. That festival is a miracle that it still happens, because the authorities have obviously tried to stop it because of all sorts of reasons, just because it's, the locals have always hated it. Like, a lot of the locals have always hated all the gypsies and the hippies rambling through their town. And yeah, and each year on the festival really represents like how humanity was, especially back in the punk time, where there was the punks and the hippies, you know. And now I was more nervous this year than, because I really feel like it has an etch of how everybody's feeling in the festival. And I feel like people are quite tense this year, but also a little bit feeling guilty to fully relax. We're all letting go of a lot of responsibilities when we enter that festival this year, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And it was always dependent on the weather and that, because last year it wasn't too hot, and the year before it was boiling, and then you're just everyone's like tight in these tiny little shade, like flags, shade of the flags and stuff. It's just yeah, but it kills you when it's really hot. So yeah, I am excited, but I am nervous, because it's a large festival, and it's important. It's yeah. But Arabella Churchill, so basically the guy who saved us from the Nazis, the granddaughter, helped the hippie generation thrive. God, I feel a bit, oh, look how flabby, oh God, flabby arms at the moment. Yeah. But yeah, so hooray to the Churchills, I think, is basically my point. And instead of rambling any more rubbish at you, go and put in Arabella Churchill and look her up. Yeah. And her husband, she married a juggler. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, so she's like lovely, educated. There's pictures of her online as well with the Kennedys and stuff. So, you know, she's proper Churchill, man, proper granddaughter, and turned away from her family to join the hippie generation to help set up, you know, magic and to get us where we are now, guys. So yeah, she married a juggler. There's a bridge. If you go to the festival this year, it's the Bella's Bridge, and just give her a nod in Bella's Field, because I didn't know until very recently that that's what Bella's Field was named after. And actually, one of the craziest places for intuition and instinctual picking up energy is in the circus fields, in the Bella's Field, and that lots of unusual things going on there at night. And that I timed a triangle once for the earth, body and spirit with some other very far out minds at the time. But it's a really crazy place to hang out, fires up there, just more relaxed music. Me and my partner are arguing about main stages and stuff this year, because I do like to find your little things that are just jabbing around, you know, if like just anything run by something a bit wild, or just anything really, though. But yeah, I'm going to try and go in the secret piano bar this year, so I'm not going to tell you where it is if you don't know where it is. Haha. No, but yeah. And last year when I was going around the track, like the main track on the way back to my tent at like 3 a.m, just in a ditch, like between these little like wooden railings things, was a man with long hair, you know, like a Jesus type man in there with a lovely fire and a quiet space. And he said, "We're closing now." I just happened to catch his eye, and he was like in a ditch, like, and I looked down, like, and he went, "We're closing now, but this is a safe space at night. If the track gets too wild for you, you know, if all of this running around gets too, come in here. You can have a lovely chat and just relax." And that's please look out for things like that in Glastonbury Festival when you're there. I never found in the next night, but it was just really interesting that they were just there with these glowing fairy lights in the ditch, just chilling out. God knows what's going, you know, but don't just get sucked into the main stages, guys, because it's harder to do than ever at the moment. 2 years ago, I completely didn't let my phone, we didn't even know what was on, basically. There is a limit. Like last 1 year, we literally didn't know what was on, and our phones died, and we were just running around, and Queen of the Stone Ages came on, we were running to Elton John, and we were like, what's that racket? You know, like, it's just literally didn't know what was on. Watched 2 of Elton John, and then was running around the festival with the whole festival empty. Watched 2 songs of Elton John, and then the whole festival was empty. It was crazy, like 300 people watching Rudimental and that. It was, but yes, so I'm not going to keep going on, but yeah, so realise that it, you know, Glastonbury Festival is one of the first festivals, and it is very important when people get together and vibe, y'all. All right, so if you can't go to the festival, get it on your TV, vibe with the festival, all right? So peace and love, and let's just see what happens after the festival. And yeah, Arabella Churchill, cheers and bye and namaste, and have a good day.